Hi guys, happy Motivational Monday. I'm Sami Womack from A Sunny Side Up Life, and I'm really excited to be doing our first Motivational Monday of the new year. Yay! So excited. I have been particularly excited about this new year more than any other new year, I think. This year was kind of a year for me of really like growing into like goal setting and actually hitting goals and feeling that accomplishment and taking that motivation and letting it push me even farther and farther. So like having a fresh new year is super exciting to me. So you guys are going to be getting all of this excitement. You got in December all of my goal planning excitement. So now you're going to be getting my goal implementing excitement. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for joining. Happy New Year. So I wanted to pop on today, and while my kids are hopefully taking a nap, I don't think the big two are asleep. So fingers crossed that we don't get interrupted. But I wanted to pop on here today and talk to you guys about where to start in 2018 with your budget. A lot of you know that I did my Fresh Financial Year workshop a couple of days ago, and we had a record-breaking amount of people sign up for it, and I was so excited to help all of you get started and get motivated. So for those of you who joined the workshop, this might be a little bit repetitive, but you might need to hear it again since it's been a couple of days and kind of get you like remotivated now that it's Monday and now that it's actually the first and everything. So the very first place that we need to start in 2018 with our budget actually isn't with numbers. A lot of you guys know that I say this all the time, that the first place to start is with your mindset and with your motivation. So the very first thing that I recommend doing is discovering and focusing on your why. That's why you started in the first place. What is your deeper motivation? And for a lot of us, it's things like freedom, it's things like travel, it's things like wanting to retire at a certain age or be able to stay home with our kids or be able to start a business or, you know, something bigger, something so much bigger than, oh, I just need to lower my grocery bill or something like that. These are your big picture whys. So I want you to take some time, if you haven't already done this, to discover what that why is, write it down somewhere, and then really focus on it as you're setting the rest of your goals for this year. And that doesn't even have to just be your budgeting goals. You can, you know, it might be to grow closer with your family or, you know, something like that. And money plays a part in that because money really, I feel like, plays a part in absolutely every part of our life. So discover and focus your why, number one. Number two, visualize where you want to be a year from now. And this is also kind of getting you out of that tunnel vision and getting you into that big picture, broadening where you want to be. So where do you want to be a year from now? I want you to take some time and journal that down as well. And then you can start to work backwards and take those steps that you need to get to where you want to be this time next year. The third thing is to just simply brainstorm and dream up those goals, giving yourself just some blank paper to just scribble and to just write down everything that comes to mind. It doesn't have to even be in perfect sentences. It doesn't have to be in pretty handwriting. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. This is just for you. Nobody has to see it. You don't have to share it on social media. This is your brainstorm to write down every single thought that you have in your head about your goals, where you want to be a year from now, what is your ultimate big picture why, where do you want to be, you know, long term. And the last step is your big picture goals. Make sure to include where you want to be when you're 80, where you want to be when you retire, where do you want to be 10 or 20 years from now. This is getting us, again, back into that big picture of looking at our life from more of an aerial view, from more of a broadened horizon. And that's going to help you, you know, see the big picture, but it's also going to help you know what you're working towards. Otherwise, we're just wandering around in the dark saying, oh, I want to save X number of dollars, or I want to lose weight, or I want to read X number of books, or whatever you want to do. But you don't ultimately know why you're doing it. You don't ultimately know how it helps you get closer to the person that you want to be in the future. You're just throwing out resolutions. You're not actually setting goals. So what we want to do this year is we want to set goals, not resolutions. And we want to be taking those steps to get to ultimately where we want to be this time next year and where we want to be at the end of our life ultimately. Okay, so real quick, while I have you guys here, I wanted to share 4 steps. So a lot of us have different budgeting goals, and your goals might not be the same as mine or somebody else's. But if you have some simple budgeting goals, I want to help you take a couple of action steps if you're just getting started this new year, which is the hardest part, is getting started. A lot of people will agree to that. It gets easier as you go, believe me. Okay, so if one of your goals is to organize your bills this year, a couple of action steps for this, and I'm going to read my notes, so forgive me if I'm looking down. If you want to organize your bills, the first thing you can do is write them out. So I have my worksheets available if you're interested in some worksheets, but you can just do this on a blank piece of paper, on a blank spreadsheet. It doesn't matter how you do this. The most important thing is that you actually do it. So to organize your bills, all you need to do is write out all of your bills. You need a short description, you need a date order, and you need an average amount. There are a lot of bills that fluctuate, like your electricity bill. Write out an average amount, or write out, in the winter it's this much, in the summer it's this much, whatever you need to do, a little note about how much you can generally expect to spend on this bill. That's it, description, due date, and amount. And if you need to kind of scribble them out first and then go back and put them in date order, that's what I would recommend doing. And that's going to help you feel so organized and really on top of things when it comes to your next payday. So the second step is, or the second goal, I guess, if you want to focus on cutting back your spending, there are a few things that you can do this year. The first thing you can do is, if you haven't already, you can sign up for my free spending course. And I have all these links below for you guys. My free 5-day spending course, which is going to really help you get started. You can download an app or grab a small notebook, or get my worksheets, whatever you need to do to have a place to track your spending. Tracking your spending is literally just writing down every single place that you spend money, a short description, an amount, and a category, so you can know, okay, this much of my money is going to eating out, this much of my money is going to groceries, this much is going to fun money, whatever it is, and you can kind of know where your money is actually going. The next thing you can do, this is the most effective tip of budgeting, is to simply pay attention. This means checking in with your budget, not just once a month, not just on payday, frequently, ideally every single day if you're just starting, because it's learning a new habit, just like any other habit, just like any other chore. You're out of practice of it, and the more frequently that you check in with it, the more successful you're going to be. So you might need to check in every day for a couple of months until you kind of get in the habit. And then after you've tracked your spending, the best thing to do is to try to beat your numbers. So whatever your grocery bill is, say it's $600 a month, and you feel like that's too high. So your goal would be to cut that back $20 or $50 or whatever you feel is necessary, and just simply try to beat your numbers. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't worry about what your friends say you should be spending. Don't worry about what the internet says you should be spending. Try to beat your numbers. You're the only person that you're in competition with, okay? The next one is, if you're trying to get extra money to either pay off debt or save this year, whatever your goals are, one of the things you can do is, if you're paying off debt, I have some free debt worksheets linked below that you can grab that are going to help you organize your debt. So simply knowing is really going to help you. Just a lot of us don't even know what our totals are. I definitely didn't at one point. And when I added mine up, my total was a complete shock to me. I had no idea how much debt I was in. So if you're in that situation, grab those free worksheets and simply just list out all your debt and add up your totals. That is going to be a huge weight off of simply just knowing where you actually stand with your debt. Then you're going to want to look for ways to cut back your bills, cut out unnecessary bills, shop around to lower bills, cut back your spending in ways like your groceries, stop going out to eat, There's so many examples of that. Or if you feel like you've cut back as much as you can, or you really want to get excited and you want to do all of the things, look for ways to increase your income, you guys. Maybe this is the year that you work extra. This is the year that you take on a second job, or you're a stay-at-home parent and you take on a job that you can work from home, or a side hustle, or whatever it is. You start selling things around your house, whatever you need to do to get that income up, and then be super intentional with that extra money. Remember that your goal is to pay off debt, or your goal is to save, whatever it is, and be super intentional with your money this year. Make a plan for it before you even have that money in your hands. Okay, my last goal is a sinking fund. And this is basically, a sinking fund is a separate account where you save up for those irregular purchases. So if you were one of the people that was feeling like at Christmas time, Christmas just hurt, like you were not ready for it, or you wish you would have had more, this is the kind of account you need. Basically what you do with this account, this can be cash, this can be a debit card account, this can be a separate savings account. It doesn't matter as long as you know on paper where this money is going to go. So what you want to do is have a short description of what you're saving for, the total of how much you need to be. So if you want $1,000 for Christmas, whatever it is, and then figure out how many budget periods are between now and when you want to start shopping for next Christmas, approximately 11 months. Divide up how many paychecks you have between now and then, and divide that by your goal number, and save a little bit as you go so nothing sneaks up on you this year and ruins your budget, because you're going to be working so hard on your budget this year. And the last thing you want is to forget that you have to renew your car registration or pay your property taxes, or you have a kid's birthday party to fund, or whatever it is. Kelly, don't worry, you're fine. You're good. Whatever your goal is, save for it little by little, and don't let anything sneak up on you this year and ruin all of your budgeting efforts, okay? So those are my short steps for you. Those are the places that I think that you should start this year in 2018 to have a successful budgeting year. And I'm really, really excited to get this year started. I have so much great content coming for you guys. I have a lot of ideas brewing up in here. And it's going to be a really great year. So I'm excited, and I want you guys to be excited. So take advantage of those resources that I have below for you guys. Get started. Make this the best budgeting year ever. And that's all for me today. So I'm going to go, and I will talk to you guys soon. If you are on my email list, be on the lookout for a new blog. I'm going to try to get it finished today. It might be tomorrow. But I'm writing a blog about my year in review, my 2017, the goals that I set, the goals that I hit, the goals that I didn't hit, the lessons that I learned, all that kind of stuff. So I've been working on that. And be excited. We're at the beginning of a new year. I'm excited. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I will talk to you guys next time, and have a good rest of your day.